spent all day just trying to find more meat. I keep using it up really fast. And my health is still so low. This must be a better way. Was that, there is a better way? Or, I know what you're talking about?
It was there was a better way.
Why haven't you told me about this yet? I've been scrambling trying to get meat at any guard tower I could possibly find.
I don't know, just guess it hasn't come up.
Well, it's come up now. Aren't you gonna tell me?
What, you want to know?
Yes.
Alright. Alright. One really good way of finding meat is to fish.
You can actually fish in this game?
Yeah, you can actually fish in this game. All you need to do is get yourself a fishing rod, and then you cast your line and catch some fish, and it's pretty much an infinite supply of meat.
So you can use fish the same way that you use meat?
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same way. Really, the only issue is that you need to be near a body of water.
So how can I make this fishing rod that you're talking about?
Fishing rod is it's a challenging thing to make for a newbie because you're going to need some cotton. But if you've foraged and botanized like we have been, then you should have at least a couple pieces of cotton on you by now.
Yeah, I do have a cotton.
Now, up to this point, we've been using cotton to bandage wounds, but the thing about cotton is that its real use is in cloth tailoring. And the first thing that you do with cotton when starting to cloth tailor is to turn it into string. Now, this string can be used as the fishing line for your fishing pole.
Okay. So I just need to use one of my tools on it?
Yep, you need to use no, saw's not going to make string. You're going to have to use a spindle.
I do not have one of those.
Yeah, it's not one that you start out with, so you'll have to make a spindle then. Making a spindle is, I believe, a carving knife on a log.
Okay, I have got a log, and I do have a carving knife. So let's try that. A one quality spindle.
Perfect.
My work is done. Okay, so what do I do with the spindle?
So now take the spindle, activate it, right-click the cotton, and create a string.
Not bad, 50% chance. Well, I made two string cloth just in case I fail the first time. So I made the string of cloth. How do I make my fishing rod now?
Yeah, so the string of cloth will act as your fishing line, and in order to finish off that fishing line, you gotta make a hook. Of course, obviously, you put a hook on the end of the fishing line, and then you'll string that to a shaft, and voila, you have a fishing line, or fishing rod.
So I need a hook and a shaft?
Yeah, and you could probably already guess how to make a hook.
Well, I know how to make a shaft.
Okay.
So I will make one of those.
Yeah.
Alright, shaft is done.
Okay.
So I can create a yo-yo. 6%. That's not what I want to do. How do I put them together?
Well, you still have to create that hook, because that string of cloth isn't a fishing line just yet. It's not a fishing line until you've attached the hook.
How do I attach a hook?
Now there are two options for hooks. The first option is a wooden hook. Okay, so you can carve a hook out of a piece of wood. And the second option is to smith a hook out of metal. Now, obviously, one might be better than the other.
I know.
I don't know.
Let's make the easier one.
Okay, well, the easier one is obviously wood, because you probably have a good carpentry skill.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But the problem with the easier one, or the wooden one, is that it makes a specific kind of rod. It's just like the regular everyday fishing rod. Whereas the metal one will create a fine fishing rod. And in the end, fine fishing rods seem to have an increased chance at catching fish.
Alright. Let's do the hard one.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better choice. It's not that much harder, so it's worth putting in that extra little bit of effort. And you have some ore, right? We rummaged some ore before, right?
Let me check. I don't see the ore in my pile. Ah, I left it on the ground, but I got it. I guess I gotta get it hot now.
Yeah, pretty much what you gotta do. Get it hot, smelt it with a small anvil, and making a hook is a pretty easy item, so should have no issues with that.
Okay, so it's glowing hot now. I have a small anvil, and you're just saying that I need to activate the iron. Right-click the small anvil, and it's somewhere here.
Yep, should be under miscellaneous, I believe.
How do I look through all this stuff? There it is, fishing hook. Fishing hook. Yeah.
Congratulations. Alright, now you gotta put it all together. Fishing hook with the line, or with the string, and then the fishing line with the shaft.
Alright. Fine fishing rod. 53% chance. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Yeah!
Nice.
It looks so fine. Now, I'm guessing that I just have to activate the fishing rod
That's right.
and right-click somewhere out in the...
Yeah, you got it. Makes pretty much perfect sense. Just right-click out in the water. Get close up to the water, and
You are
should
too
have
far
no
away
problem.
to do that. I guess
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
gotta get-
somewhere closer to me.
yeah.
3
think-
minutes?
Then 3 tiles. Yeah, 3 minutes. Fishing is quite a bit different than most other actions. It's not like 3 minutes and you'll catch a fish, but it'll fish for 3 minutes if you don't catch a fish. So there's the benefits to this, cons to this for sure. But the benefit is that you can set it to fish and sort of just hang out, watch a TV show or something. But if a fish is caught within that 3 minutes, it could be at any moment, then you catch the fish and the action timer stops. Fishing is one of those things that's kind of a relaxing skill. You just queue up a couple fishing actions in a row and just hang out for a little bit there.
Alright, you go talk about your stuff about fish, and I'll just be right here. Go ahead.
Okay. So one thing that you might want to do is bring extra fishing lines with you, or potentially extra fishing rods, because there's a chance that your fishing line will break, and that'll just leave you with a shaft. Okay, another thing that you need to make sure that you do is repair your fishing rod often. I would highly recommend that after every single fishing action you repair. This will decrease the chances that your fishing rod will break. So if you're queuing up actions, like as a newbie you have 3 actions, so do a fishing action, then repair your fishing rod, then queue up another fishing action, and then when it's all said and done you repair again and repeat the whole process.
You don't have to, right?
You don't have to, but as your fishing rod gets more damaged, there's a really high chance that your fishing rod will break. Okay? So it's up to you if you want to repair, but I recommend it. Now another tip about fishing rods is that willow makes the best fishing rod, because the willow will decrease the amount of damage that the rod takes each time. Okay, I mean, the reason why I didn't mention this before is because willow's a really rare tree. Like, you're not really going to find that many of them around, so chances of having one on hand is pretty slim to none. Here's another tip and trick. As a newbie, as I mentioned, like, you can only queue up 3 actions. So if you really want to make all those 3 actions fishing actions, a good strategy would be to carry 3 fishing rods with you. Because if you do that, then you can queue up each fishing rod, fish with this rod, fish with the second rod, fish with the third rod, and then at the end of it all, repair all 3 and then repeat that. So that'll give you a longer time of fishing where before you actually have to pay attention again.
Huh? I'm paying attention.
Right. Another thing to consider is that if you have access to COC, or Circle of Cunning, get that put on a fishing rod. It'll increase the skill gain that you get. with every fishing action that you do. Now you don't need a boat to fish, as you can clearly see, we're fishing on the shore. But there are some advantages to fishing out of a boat. Number one, if you're fishing out of deeper water, you have a higher chance at getting larger fish. In addition, there are these special fishing tiles that can be found if you have a pendulum that has the enchantment Lurker in the Deep. Using this pendulum, you can find these special fishing tiles where if you fish on them, you have a chance at catching rare fish. And these rare fish are huge, so they contain a lot of meat and can supply you for many, many meals. I would recommend avoiding doing this until your fishing skill is about 50, because catching those rare fish is really difficult. But getting yourself out in a boat just to fish normally does have its advantages. Finally, the last piece of advice I have for fishing is to imp your fishing rod as high as you possibly can, because the higher it is, the less damage it's going to take on each fishing action, and therefore the less chance it'll break on you. So, how's your fishing going? Catch anything yet? Brian, you there? So how's the fishing going?
Why aren't I fishing anymore? Where'd my fishing rod go?
You didn't repair it, did you?